Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Saieed Ali, spiritual consultant and real estate businessman. Remember, for those of you that are having spiritual problems, you can feel free to contact me. Those of you who need counseling, you can also contact me at 339-1670, or you can call my office at 237-3135 from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Those of you that are on our page, TT Real Talk on YouTube, Real Talk with Saieed Ali on Facebook, like and share our page, subscribe to YouTube, and you will know when we go live. I want to say a special good night to you viewers of Real Talk in Trinidad and Tobago, of the Caribbean, and around the globe. You know, like I always say, it is always a blessing to me to come here night after night and to bring situations before you, so you would understand what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. Outsiders would understand what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. You know, I am still joyful and happy of the no bail bill, the amendment that was passed on Wednesday of last week. But I have a little more information concerning that later on in the program. You would understand why I am still in a joyous mood. As we start off tonight, viewers, President of the All General Workers Union, Nirvan Maharaj, is calling on the Labour Minister, Jennifer Baptiste-Primus, to bring legislative reform to protect workers. Nirvan Maharaj noted that thousands of citizens are losing their jobs and are also seeking employment. Maharaj believes that it is important that the government deals with the outstanding labor reforms and implementation of the workers' agenda, one of the foundation pillars that helped propel the PNM administration into power. Mr. Maharaj also proceeded some recommendation on how this can be done. Now, it is true that sometimes in some places workers have no rights. They are being sent home. Some companies have not been paying their NIS. On an often basis, sometimes people actually calls in and said, Saeed, we are having a problem with NIS. We are working for this company, we are working for this individuals, and they have not been paying NIS. And that is the worker rights. They have rights. Now, being a boss, you have rights, yes, is to make sure your workers are comfortable with the job that they are doing. Thank God my staff are comfortable. But they have rights. And Jennifer Baptiste-Primus, being the Labour Minister, she ought to have things in place to protect laborers. That is her portfolio, to protect laborers. Oftentimes I tell citizens who call me on a daily basis, Saeed, we are not getting that, we are not getting that, we are not getting this. Have you filed a complaint to the Labour Board? No, Saeed. Well then, go to the Labour Board, follow the instruction, and submit your complaint. So the staff at the Labour Ministry would be able to pick up your application and deal with it. In that way, the Labour Ministry would understand what is taking place with laborers being employed. They would have the full knowledge of, hey, this company not paying NIS for their workers. Now the workers complaining. But when you do not know that the individual is complaining and you do not pick up, their complaint, how can you be an effective ministry? How can you be an effective ministry? Say that you are standing for the workers, and when they submit their claims, nothing comes out of it for years. For years. You see, what the citizen of Trinidad is looking for is a productive ministry. That is what they are looking for. When you do not have a productive ministry, you do not have anything productive. Labor force go down in vain. The workers lose their rights. And what do they have? Work like horse and go home. That is what they have. And when they file a complaint, no response. Bosses get away. And what can we do? What can we do? So this is something that the ministry needs to look into. This is what the labor minister have to look into. Why? Because that is her department. That is her department. Now viewers, feel free to call in 237-3135. Voice your complaint. This platform is for you. Just to voice your complaint. Switching gears a bit. Minister of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries, Clarence Rambarat, gave out 21 letters that were approved by the cabinet to grant farmers 30 years land lease across Trinidad and Tobago at a lease and letters distribution ceremony today. 21 farmers have acquired a 30-year lease. How wonderful is that? It is very, very exciting to these 21 farmers. But you know what would make it more exciting? You know what would boost these farmers more? You know what would give them a sense of comfort, a sense of joy? Yes, they got the land. But to top it off, if they actually get the Ministry of Agriculture to fund them when they lose their crops, it would help them a lot. And that is, now, we have an agriculture sector in Trinidad and Tobago that is dying. Why am I saying that? This is the reason why. When every time a flood passes throughout Trinidad, a disaster, we have nothing in place to give a helping hand to these farmers. Nothing to start them up. Because some farmers will lose hundreds of thousands of dollars. And when they put out their all and they get this loss, they have nothing to start them up. They have no startup. Now remember, you go to the ADB, you take your loan, and a flood come and wash away everything. What would happen? You would lose everything. You lose your crop, you lose your labor, and at the end of 30 days or 90 days, you have a loan to pay. So what would really boost these farmers is actually the minister put something in place. This is your, you see, I just always say, you know, 41 ministers, front bench, back bench. If you all see about your portfolio, Trinidad won't be in this mess. So if the labor minister pick up her portfolio and start running with it, that will become successful. If the Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Rambarat, gets into his ministry and actually help the farmers, because that is your portfolio, that is what you were selected to do, agriculture in Trinidad would be booming. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead, you're live on Real Talk.
All right, Mr. Saeed.
Yes?
I'm working for a company, right?
Hello?
You listening? Yeah, you listening?
Yes?
Yeah, working for a company.
Uh-huh.
And it's the same salary that they pay me for during the daytime, right? For the day. They want to pay me the same salary for working on weekends and public holidays. Is that right?
Same salary?
Yeah. the same day pay again for the day, they want to pay me for working on a public holiday and a Sunday. And I'm supposed to get something like time and a half or something, correct?
Yes. After a certain time, you're supposed to get time and a half. And I understand public holidays is double. That's how it's supposed to be with a company.
Yeah, well, this is what I call it to find out.
It's supposed to be that way, yes? You see, thank you, caller. You see, when you have incidents like this happening, you need to take it to the labor board. That is what the labor board is there for. And for those of you who do not know that, you are just informed. You have just been educated. Take up the matter to the labor board. That is why they are there. So you see, viewers, how informative and interesting Real Talk is? Back to the agriculture minister. Agriculture is a dying sector in Trinidad. And the population of Trinidad and Tobago knows that. But what are the ministry doing to boost it? You want to plant cocoa and coffee throughout the whole of Trinidad and Tobago? So you expect us to drink tea morning, noon and night? Anytime you hear something come up, cocoa and coffee. They want to revamp the cocoa industry. We can't eat that. You can't eat that. You need to have something in place for the agriculture, the tomatoes, the bodi, the same, the pumpkin, the dashing bush. You need something in place. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night, Saeed, and how are you today, man?
I'm good.
Well, but I had to big you up today. I am
Hello?
calling to criticize today, bigging you up. This program you have here, brother, if it wasn't for this program, look how many things people can call and ask, that highlight that the government ministers and throughout this country will help them, assist them. God bless you, brother, and God bless Real Talk. I wish you long life and good health and strength, brother, for providing this platform for the citizens of this country. And with reference to those people in Barrackpore that people criticize and condemn, don't study them, brother. They don't need help at all.
Thank
so
you,
don't
my
worry
friend.
about them. And those who call and criticize your program, they are very illiterate.
Exactly.
Don't take them on, brother. God bless you. God bless your program. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, my friend. You see, criticism, as long as you're going in the wrong direction, it is boost me. Because when you say, Saeed, you cannot do that, and Saeed, your program is waste of time. Really? No problem. Watch what Real Talk could do. Watch what Saieed Ali could do. And then you'll realize this is not just an ordinary program. The man who running this program is not just an ordinary man, but he's an abnormal man. He's a man that could get things done. It's not about boasting, I just always say fame and popularity. I don't run down that thing. My staff would tell you, I don't run down them things. And they have seen it. Caller, good night.
Hi, good night.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Saeed, you're doing a very good job. I just want to, yesterday in your program, 2-3 people calling concerning the NIS questions. I would like to ask you if it's okay for me to give an answer.
No problem.
All right. Every Friday, for everybody who have NIS questions, every Friday morning on another station, Jagriti, from 9 to 10, there is Mr. Ramnaresh Dwarka answering all and every and any question about NIS. The number you can even get him at is 625-4636. Thank you very much. I'm glad to help out anybody concerning that.
Could you just repeat the number again so the viewers would understand? Hello?
Yes?
Could you just repeat the numbers so that the citizen could get in touch with him?
Yeah, the number is 625
625
4636.
4636.
Yeah.
Thank you, my dear, for sharing that information with us. So you see, viewers, it is about production. It is about helping. It is about lending a hand. That it is what all about. Switching gears a bit now, viewers. Citizens traveling between Trinidad and Tobago without confirmed tickets experience a lot of problems over the weekend and on Monday. Those who choose to travel on the air bridge had to sleep on the floor at the ANR Robinson International Airport for a flight back to Trinidad. Works and Transport Minister Rohan Sinanan responded to the Sea and Air Bridge issue today. Rohan Sinanan noted today that it is impossible for any country or any operator to deal with an influx of passengers waiting to travel on either the air or sea bridge at a particular time without a confirmed ticket.
Let us understand the scenario that we're dealing with. You have people going up to Tobago for the entire week, and everybody wants to come down on a specific time, on a specific day. That is almost impossible for any country or any operator to deal with, because then what you're telling me is that we must have a lot of vessels, a lot of available seats, just waiting for this peak period. That is not affordable. What you had happening there on Sunday, both vessels operating, one vessel actually operating earlier, that was not filled to capacity. Now, had some people gone on earlier, they would, a lot got on that vessel, but the majority of people would have come late in the evening, where you had just the final vessel making the final trip, and then everybody expected to get on that. It is impossible. Everybody who had confirmed tickets came down, and some people who were on standby were able to come down.
Now, viewers, tonight I would agree with the minister, Mr. Rohan Sinanan. When you have confirmed tickets, you are booked for a certain time. When you have standby tickets, it's only if there is a vacancy, then you can get on board. If not, you will have to wait. And that is true. That is what we are facing with the air bridge and sea bridge in Trinidad and Tobago. So apparently nobody cannot carry the blame for that. Caller, good night.
Good evening. We have this problem getting from Trinidad to Tobago and from Tobago to Trinidad for some years now.
Mm-hmm.
And we want international tourists to come to Tobago.
Mm-hmm.
When I am living in Trinidad and when I go over there, I can't even reach back here. How do you think this looks for the international tourists?
Thank you, caller. But I want you to understand something. In other countries, I did a lot of traveling. And in other countries, it is the same thing. I want you to understand me. Come back to me, guys. I want you to understand what I'm saying. In other countries, it is the same thing, because come Carnival or come Christmas, it is the very same thing. It happened in the US, it happened in the UK, it happens in Asia, it happens in China, it happens in Japan. Trinidad and Tobago, right there it happens. Sometimes we get frustrated, sometimes flight delays. But this is something that it cannot fix. This cannot fix. You all might say, oh God, siding with PNM tonight. It's not a matter of siding, you know. It's a matter of common sense. Same thing with the highway. All over the world, You meet traffic jam on highways. And it's something that you cannot deal with. You just have to take your time and go. Wait when you have to wait. This is something that it can't fix, no matter what you do. So don't feel I'm picking sides with anybody. It happens in the world today. How do I know about it? Because I get caught up in the same thing. And no matter how you go around that, it just can't fix. Because it is not there all the time. It don't happen all the time. If it never happened to you, it happened to me. Hence the reason why I could tell you it is something that cannot fix. But if it's something could fix, believe me, I would be throwing out the ideas, like I did on many occasions. So I do apologize for that, because it cannot fix. Switching gears, Minister of Works and Transport, Rohan Sinanan, assured the public that the 2 new customized vessels that is scheduled to arrive in Trinidad and Tobago next year, 2020, will be an upgrade from where Trinidad is at now.
Will be larger than this vessel, and I can give you the assurance that the 2 new vessels that are coming will be larger than this vessel. Their capacity is a lot more than this vessel, and they are, it's a newly built, customized vessel for us. So the sea bridge will just move from strength to strength. With the assurance that the next 2 vessels to come will be an upgraded from where we are. We are upgraded from where we are now. So the sea bridge will just keep getting better and better. And the seat capacity we expect to be over 3,500 seats at the peak. So we're moving from a mere 1,500 seats to over 3,500.
So viewers, by 2020, they didn't give the exact month or the figures that it cost to build 2 new vessels that will service the air bridge between Trinidad and Tobago. But we are expecting in 2020 2 new vessels. According to Mr. Rohan Sinanan, it will improve the transportation
and I can give you the assurance
between the 2 islands. All we could do is look forward to what is coming. That is all I can say on their behalf for now. Moving along, Minister of the National Security website are still down after more than a week after 11 government websites were hacked by Brazilian anti-government hackers. Wow. $11 government websites. You all notice how far technology have brought us? Very, very far. Until they are actually hacking you. It is technology today. Technology today. Now this is where it gets interesting. This is what I love about this, what I'm going to tell you. The President of Trinidad and Tobago, Paula McWeeks, signed off on the Bail Amendment Bill 2019 on Monday, August the 5th. Confirmation from the Attorney General, Mr. Faris Al-Rawi, the President has proclaimed the Bail Amendment Bill 2019 into law. So it is now a law in Trinidad and Tobago. Come on, guys. It is now a law in Trinidad and Tobago that the No Bail Amendment Bill is passed. You know why I'm laughing? You know why I'm laughing? You see, everybody who is be calling in and saying, Saieed, where you do? How you get that bill passed? Where you bring it to the table? But tell you something. I am not you and you are not me. What I could do, you cannot do. And what you could do, I could do. Hey, you wouldn't believe how happy I am. I am still celebrating since last week Wednesday to now. So criminals, let me break it down for you instead of using the big word criminals. Rapists, human traffickers, gang members, gun smugglers, gun-toting bandits, people who like to break in house, people who like to thief car, people who like to rob on the street, people who like to force women into prostitution. I am proud to say, brace your back. I am proud to say that. Because you know why? TTPS, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, those officers will be coming at you very hard. Now they have a tool to work with. Before they didn't have it, you know. Because before they was working, and criminals going before the magistrate and getting bail and coming out back. But now, they could see from the ASPs come straight down to the SRP in ranks. They could now say they have a piece of tool to work with. That is what they could see. And you know what's the next thing? DNA. DNA is the next thing I will be working on. Witness protection is one of the things I will be working on. I feel like joking. I'm going to tell you something. Trinidad is where I belong. Trinidad is where you belong. Citizens can now feel a sense of safety. You know why? Because it is proclaimed by the President of Trinidad and Tobago that the amendment bill is now effective. You know why I did that? To make sure all you're safe. It's not about me, you know. To make sure all you're safe. From the rich man on top to the poor man underneath. It is to make sure you all safe. You could now go to bed and rest your head comfortable that when a bandit come into your house and TTPS get a hold of him, as long as it is a repeat offense, As long as it is a repeat offense, you are definitely sure there is no bail for him for 120 days. That is 4 months. For 4 months, you will be resting comfortable. And when he comes before the magistrate again, and they realize that he have a list of offense, and you apply for bail after 4 months, and they deny you again, well, you know what happening? You're inside. You're inside. This is what I want to let you understand. Now, this is the source of it, you know. I want to let you understand that now the bill is proclaimed. It is a law of the land. So when you hear the bandit go before the magistrate, let me tell you something. When I'm working on something, I look at all angles, you know. I just swing it upside down, you know. Come back, guys. I just swing it upside down. Because you know why? When it comes into effect, I know it is something well done. But tell all of this. Listen carefully and tell your friends and tell your family it is in effect. Hear how you're safe. When you hear the officer charging you, present a list. And the list have 9 convictions with firearm, 9 convictions of rape, 9 convictions of human trafficking. Listen carefully. When you go before the magistrate, and it's a repeat, as long as you do it a second time, it is a repeat. Listen carefully. You will know why I'm excited, and I want to let you feel the same joy I'm feeling. Listen good. You see, I didn't hit all everything one time, you know. Because I know drop by drop, there's full the basket, and education by education by education will cause you to climb the ladder, so you will be educated. When you hear they present the list before the magistrate, and they see a long list of offense you had before you end up in front of me, is no bail. No. 120 days, it's 4 months. 4 months. And after 4 months now, when you decide to go before the magistrate now, or you decide to apply for bail, and they realize, hey, you are a seasoned criminal, there's no bail. So you know what happening? You will sit down behind bars. From the jail to the magistrate, back to jail, back to magistrate. And then when the case starts now, you know what's going on? 20 years down the line. 10 years down the line. Let me tell you something. I take my time when I plan this, you know. I didn't just jump out and say I want the Nobel bill, you know. No. For those of you who do not understand, I am educating you. Let me tell you, just now I go build a jail for the police, you know, for the government, you know. Don't get tired up. Caller, good night.
Hi, good night.
Go right ahead.
Okay, this is pertaining to water. My situation is, I live in Trent City. We have no water from this.
Hello?
Oh, quite this afternoon, they put it on back. I requested truck-bound water. When I call, I have no tank. They tell me they only allow to give you in tanks, not in barrel. I don't understand if you're dying or what is the position.
No, but do you have a tank?
No, I don't have a tank. I have a barrel. And I live in a flat house. And they said they're not allowed to bring it in barrels. But what choice do I have?
Okay.
I don't know what is this country coming to. tank?
Not a problem. Buy a tank. So when you request water, you will get a tank of water that would last you probably 2 weeks. I want you to understand what the Nobel bill is all about. Then you would realize, but wait now. Saieed, you ain't stupid, neither you ain't dotish, you have a little sense. You see, I'm educating you here. I'm not bashing tonight, you know. Tonight is why I'm educating you all, you know. Saieed, what this bill is all about? What is this Nobel thing about? Saieed, what you do? But tonight I'm explaining to all you what I did. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
I strayed from this program a little while. Because I was reading the newspaper today, and I see the same house you give up on to build for the children and the woman. Some other godly people took up the mantra and building the house for them. So these people have God in them.
Well, let them go ahead. But I gotta tell you one thing. If any one of them were threatened, you will tell me what God they had in them. And that is what I have to tell to you. If any one of them were threatened, if the pastor was threatened, you would have tell me if he had God in him. It wasn't God that time, you know. God didn't threaten me, no, them threatened me. And then you would have know. Then you would have know. Caller, good night.
Yes, good night, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, concerning the bill, I want to ask one question. For the year, they have so many murders, so many killings with guns, especially guns. How many have been arrested by the police so that they will go to jail?
Thank you for calling, caller. Guys, come back to me now. Let me explain something to you. When an individual commits a murder, it is not a government thing. It is not a police thing. It is a civilian thing. It is an individual thing. You know why? He decided to put on this mask where his own son or his own mother cannot even recognize him, and decide to pick up this gun and go and kill this individual. So how can you tell me John Doe went and killed John Doe and you don't even know what John Doe look like because he covered his face? That is why murders cannot be solved. Now listen this. With proper DNA being done and a proper DNA bank, as long as the firearm or as long as the gun fired 20 years back and 20 years up the road, you have that DNA bank to confirm ballistic that this bullet with this same pattern that hit the head of the bullet, fired, this same gun fired 20 years back. That is proper DNA. That is proper DNA. So when you hear you have the gun now, and with a fingerprint on the trigger that was stored 20 years back, you could get it 20 years up the road, and you're going to know who it is. You know why? You know why? You have a proper DNA bank storing information. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead, you're live on Real Talk.
Yeah, Mr. Saieed, good night. And the UNCD bring out that same building.
Which one are you talking about?
The bill amendment thing. For the 120 days. And the UNC, they bring out that.
I can't recall. To be honest with you, I can't recall.
Yeah, UNC, they had that law passed already.
If they had the law passed, how come it passed?
Well, after the PNM come on board, they cut it out.
No. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. I don't know where you got your information from, but it don't work like that. It's not about this party cutting out and that party cutting out. It don't work like that. I could stand here firmly and tell you, it don't work like that. Now, back to what I was saying. With the proper DNA system, it could fix. As long as they have proper ballistics, proper storage, it could fix. But when you hear something is contaminated, as I said, this one, no, that one, and that one, no, that one, and that one, no, the other one, and the other one, no, John, no, we know how things run. Minister of National Security, Stuart Young, today congratulated 10 prison inmates on their artistic talent at the launch of the prison service 10th inmate art exhibition at Long Circular Mall, St. James. Stuart Young received a booklet entitled Beyond Bars from the Commissioner of Prison, Gerard Wilson. Young said the inmate works show a great example of what Trinidad and Tobago has to offer. Young said everyone makes mistake, and that is true. Everyone makes mistakes. But the prison system has to provide tools for rehabilitations with the hope of reintegration back into society. He said the inmates were not demons or people who were lost in the prison system. He also noted that all was not lost, as there was still a lot of good in the prison system. Kola, good night.
Oh, good night.
Go right ahead.
Saeed, I'm trying to get in contact with you. Can I get a number that I could call you?
339-1670. So now you understand, viewers, why I have pushed for the child sex offender registry, for the anti-gang legislation. No bail for firearm. No bail for rapists. Now you would understand why I push for these legislations. And fast as I pushing for these legislations, the Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Faraz Al-Rawi, brought it to Parliament. Every time I asked for something, he would bring it to Parliament. And we will get the legislations passed. And my biggest thing, after pushing child sex offender registry, anti-gang legislations, no bail for firearm, no bail for rapists, and a repeat offender of any crime, no bail. When I got all these legislations passed, I pushed for no bail amendment bill. Why? Because anytime you are a repeat offender of a crime, listen carefully here. Anytime you are a repeat offender of a crime, there will be no bail for you for 120 days. That is 4 months. And after 4 months, when they bring you back to the magistrate and they check you out and they realize there's a seasoned criminal, and the magistrate refuses to grant you bail now, let me tell you something. You will go into the prison, to the courthouse, into the prison, into the courthouse, until they set a date for your trial. So after 4 months, you may still be remanded. And when your trial comes up now, remember he's a seasoned criminal. You have a list, maybe back and front of the page, maybe 4 or 5 pages of criminal activities. So you know what you're going to happen? You know what's going to happen? 10, 15, 20. And what happened? So from the time they hold you and they realize there's a repeat offender, from there until 20 years down the road, you will be in prison. So before I push for the no bail, I push for certain legislations, and when it passed, boom, is why I hit you with the no bail. And others want to tell me why I'm coming with? A simple thing as the Couva Children's Hospital. As I always say, have a problem for US? No problem. That could fix. How could it fix? The $1 million you was taken to build Sandals in Tobago, invest that $1 million in that hospital. And outsiders will be coming to that very same hospital and spending $100,000 US, $200,000 US, $300,000 US. Multiply $100,000 US by the bank rate of probably 6.25, and where you getting? Every $100,000 US spent, 625,000 TT. So imagine that. So if you accumulate, let's just say 1 million, that is $6 million and odd dollars. And you want to tell me you still have a problem with the US? It's because you don't see up here. You have the book sense, but you don't have the common sense. So now you would understand why I push the legislations in front. And now I come and I top it off with the no bail bill. Saieed foolish? No. Where I could do, you cannot do. But where you could do, I could do. Caller, good night. Hello?
Hello.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Ali.
Yes, sir.
In the previous caller mentioned to you that the bill was passed by the UNC. It was passed in 2011 with a sunset clause of 5 years, and it came to end in 2016. And the UNC did not support the bill at that time when the prelim brought it. So the bill was there before. The same bill you're talking about.
Okay, but it was already passed with the clause.
Yes, with a sunset clause of 5 years, from 2011 to 2016.
Thank you very much, caller.
All right, have a good night.
Thank you. So you see, viewers, you see how important this platform is to you? Where else you getting that? Where else you getting that? So now you would understand. Let me tell you something. From the 1% to the 0% or the 100%, now you would understand what real talk is all about. Those of you who are smart, from the time I started push for legislations, you're supposed to realize I have something bigger in the back. Good thing comes for all those who wait. I'm celebrating. Because I waited, and I bring forth a legislation, it passed. I bring forth a next one, it passed. I bring forth a next one, it passed. I bring forth a next one, it passed. Boom, no bail. So just imagine, hey, my wife, am I looking good enough? Let me tell you something. From the time the whole year, consider your prison start from then. Consider your prison start from then. From day 1 to 20 years up the road. Watch me if I got contractable at prison. If I have to borrow money, I'm borrowing. I'm telling all you, Because tonight, Ole would fully understand now what Saieed have been pushing for. It's not about fame. Let me tell you something. It's not about fame. It's about securing Trinidad and Tobago and the citizens from the criminal elements. It's securing the citizen. I tell you, when the judge comes and says, he says, Saieed, congratulations. So if you didn't know, now you know. Call her good night. Hello? Next one. If you didn't know, now you know. Like I said, what I could do, you cannot do. And what you could do, I could do. You see, I want a little educate on yourself. I want down to the foolish man to understand what the no bail bill is all about. That's why I take my time and I push for legislation. I push for legislation. I push for legislation. One by one they come into parliament and one by one they were passed. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night, sir.
Go right ahead.
Yes, I want to make a little comment about some police stations and the officers in the Southwestern Division. Namely the Urupuch Police Station and the Faizabad Police Station. I don't want to get into any nitty-gritty, but I would just like the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Gary Griffith, to visit these stations and try and instill some, how I should put it, you see, customer service kind of behavior.
I understand what you're saying.
These officers, and I want them to push with the lie detector test. They need to stop behaving as if though them above the law. I am asking for that, sir, and I would like the commissioner to intervene in these stations down here. Thank you very much, sir. Have a good night.
Thank you, my friend. I am definitely sure that he would look into it. Why am I saying that? He is fully aware of real talk with Saieed Ali. Hey! From the foolish man down to the smartest man would now understand. You see, all the time I didn't say nothing about the years, but I decided to bring it out tonight. You know why? From the time Paula McWeeks authorized that and put her signature on that, it became the law of the land. It became a tool for police to work with. It became a tool for bandits to understand that when they go before a magistrate, they may not come out until 20 years up the road. Caller, good night.
Hi, good night. Congratulations on the passing of the bill, amendment bill.
Thank you.
But one thing I'd like to find out, and if it is possible, the pending matters concerning these criminals, is how fast they can put it forward so they can really expedite and deal with them more efficiently, and the system will get upgraded more faster. So maybe the system, after they hold these criminals, if they can expedite it a lot, they wouldn't waste the magistrate time and everything goes well from there. All right? Have a good night. Thanks again.
Thank you, my friend. I am working on, like I said, I am working on certain things. I'm going to tell you something now, viewers. A change in Trinidad and Tobago, watch this one. Let me tell you something. You see this thin MAGA black man all seen right here? Me a white, Me a green, Me a orange, I am going to change Trinidad from north to south. That is how big of a change I'm going to change it. This one simple man, You know why? Mahatma Gandhi stood up, one individual. One individual for India. One individual, and he got things done. You know why I just always refer to Moses? Because Moses walked. He left everything behind. All the wealth in Pharaoh's kingdom. And he stepped out of Pharaoh's kingdom with a staff and the clothes he had on. And he walked into the wilderness. So watch me. Watch me change things in Trinidad. I tell you, if I have to build a prison, if I don't have money, well, I have money, you know. So don't feel you're running into Saieed and you kidnap the family again. I wouldn't hesitate to get an extra them blind again. If I have to borrow money to build a prison, believe me, I would do that. Because I know the effect of what I am pushing for. You now wait for tonight to tell all you. Because I was waiting for the president of Trinidad and Tobago to authorize. Now I could stand here and tell all you, from the time the police hold that individual, they may not see daylight until 20 years up the road. Viewers, we're out of time for tonight. Our rerun of this program is at 10 a.m. tomorrow, but I will give you all more education on our next night. Be safe and enjoy.